We then move on to our next option, value chain partnerships. So here you have three options depending on the kind of partner you're dealing with: revenue share, commissions, as well as operations optimization as an intangible value offer. On the selling side, typical value chain stakeholders include bond or mortgage originators, financial services providers, and property deeds office. You can innovate and add others, such as handymen and cleaning service providers, including cleaners, interior decorators, security system companies, among others. Basically, any service external to your platform that would be difficult to vertically integrate and necessitates a partnership. It would be a great value add for the homeowner and a great source of competitive advantage if, in the process of them trying to either sell their house or find a tenant, to add services such as home staging, including cleaning and landscaping as part of your package so as to make things easier for them to make their home as inviting as possible for potential buyers and tenants. It would be quite a slap for them to organize all of these services for themselves. So, if your platform can integrate a staging, cleaning, and gardening service on a 2 week running cycle until a property is sold or a tenant is found at highly discounted rates or as part of a subscription package that runs until a buyer or tenant is found, that would be a lot of help for the homeowner, particularly for those homeowners who are not necessarily selling their primary residence or have already moved on to their next property. For example, platforms such as Kandua and Sweep South come to mind for potential value add partnerships for this kind of platform. This is not a paid promo, it probably should be. So, Kandua and Sweep South, you're welcome. It is also a great value add for homeowners if the platform is able to plug buyers with mortgage originators or finance institutions for them to source finance for the property. Remember, your platform is both a listing platform and a facilitator, so you have to take the automation of the facilitation serious as well. You have varying degrees of control and negotiation power in terms of each of these potential partnerships in order to optimally and conveniently complete the value chain fulfillment for the homeowner. Where the leverage is a bit high, like in the situation of conveyancers and mortgage originators, you can offer a low subscription service to allow them to bid for customers as they become available on the platform, and the seller or buyer can take the best bid for the service that they need. A commission structure is also a good option because it will incentivize the potential partners to sign on to the platform because there's no financial requirement on their end until the upside materializes for them. That is, they get a paying customer and they can take the commission for the platform out of the customer's fee. The same goes for rental insurance houses, where the leverage is a bit less, where, for instance, the price ceiling is set because the service forms part of fees the customer has already paid, such as cleaning and staging services. Then a revenue share might be a bit more suitable for this situation. So here, your main opposition is estate agents because they use these relationships and value chain partnerships as a value proposition driver for the customer type homeowner. So effectively, what you're doing is eroding their dominance within the game and appending it to your advantage, thus forcing them to go over and above what they are used to in order to get that dominance back. You're doing this via a process of continuous improvement in terms of integrating all of these value add partnership platforms into your platform, essentially using a few APIs to move and use data between your platform and these other platforms. Some of these APIs will actually take the customer from your platform to the partner platform if they, say, need to choose a gardener or cleaner for their staging process, then hand them back over to your platform in order to facilitate the next thing. So, from a service consumption perspective, especially user experience wise, you don't want your customer to feel overwhelmed and wish they had someone to do this for them. That's the fastest way to lose your competitive advantage and erode your value proposition. One way of doing this is to get an AI model to intuitively learn the customer as they navigate and design a hyper personalized journey for them, specifically stored as part of their profile. Or you could sit with your UX team and customer journey yourselves to death on a weekly basis. Your choice. This is a standard way of working in the property industry. You're just automating it to raise the bar convenience and customer experience wise for the homeowner. All of these partners can choose who they want to work with. In fact, They can very well decide to work both with your platform and all the other players to maximize their revenue. If you suddenly force them to work exclusively with you and you manage to pull this off, this would be a major win for you and a great loss for the other players as they struggle to find partners to work with. Say though that you can't make the volumes to actually make these partners happy and they pull out and refuse to work with any homeowner using your platform. They win big, you lose big, to the point of threatening the sustainability of your business. We move on to the last option, trust building transparency. This involves building capability on the platform for the sole purpose of building trust between the platform facilitation process and homeowners. The desired outcome is that as more homeowners use the platform and find it easy to use and transparent, word of mouth advertising will gain momentum, translate to increased customer acquisition, and therefore increased revenue. So, this is a process of continuous improvement mainly related to customer engagement on the various consumption channels they use via capability related to service distribution management, or more accurately, service distribution support. Trust is a big issue when it comes to property transactions, but often gets overridden by more pressing matters, mainly getting the deal done as soon as possible. Here's the thing though, this type of service distribution approach wouldn't really make sense for player type estate agent, which puts them a bit at a disadvantage. However, there are many ways to build trust, and human to human interactions tend to accomplish this much more organically and authentically than human to automated platform interactions, or even human to chatbot interaction. Furthermore, the premise of the platform is DIY. So if you start introducing human like AI robots to try and give the customer that feeling of interacting with a human, you are building and reinforcing psychographics that say you need a someone to help you through the residential property letting or selling process. A mindset that actually works against you, customer acquisition wise. On the one hand, you have human relationships that are flawed, where some individuals' underhanded behaviors can ruin the reputation of the collective in that profession, despite the best efforts of the other individuals in the same collective to behave in a manner that builds and facilitates trust. On the other hand, you have the platform that has the disadvantage of not being able to provide the human touch, so to say, but the control it gives customers over their destiny in terms of property transactions more than offsets the missing human element. Directly declaring a win and reaching a direct and discernible outcome or payoff is not as straightforward for either party. If one party decides to just be untrustworthy, which wouldn't make sense anyway, then they lose big and the other party wins big. So it just makes sense for every player to do best in building trust with their customers. There is no direct winner or loser. Right, now that we've gone through our options, we need to select the option that works best for us in terms of achieving the outcome and payoff that we want. It's tempting to say we'll do all of these, but let's be realistic. As a business, you seldom have infinite time and resources. You have to optimize your usage of time and resources. So, all things considered, you'll have to pick the option that will give you the best result with minimal time, effort, and resources employed to make it happen. The best option will also depend on the internal strengths in terms of capabilities and limitations versus external disadvantages and advantages in terms of how your business fits within the external landscape. For now, we'll go with option two because we have more control in terms of using the data we either have or have the capability to collect to build customer value options that will wow our customers and make life easy for them. The next step in our decision process is to execute. This is an internal capability building exercise, but it's not worth much if potential customers don't know about it. You might want to run some kind of campaign to get people to try it out. Trading platforms do this very well. They give you fake money to play around with and invest to see how your stock portfolio would perform if it was real. It only takes one or two notable share appreciations to get the customer excited enough to actually want to commit their real money and trade. So, this approach might very much be worthwhile. Get homeowners to design a fake property in a real area and take them through the experience of how it would be like to actually use the platform. You'd likely be doing something similar with your pooled investment property service anyway, using AI to model potential deal structures that could potentially be more suitable and what potential returns they could get, depending on a set of market condition permutations that could be expected over the long term. Once you've built this capability, you could run a competition campaign where the price is either 3 months worth of mortgage payments or 3 months worth of rental payments. Homeowners and aspiring homeowners can pretend to be letting or selling a fake property on your platform, and you'll pick a random winner every month from the pool of people who actually saw the mock process through. You can make up for the API usage costs via advertising, as you'll have data about the kind of audiences you are attracting based on the kind of properties they are mock selling or letting, because in all likelihood, many of the mock trialists will be modeling a property they either already own or aspire to own based on their own affordability and preferences profile. The last step of our decision process is to review your decision and the manner in which you arrived at it and satisfy yourself that everything makes sense. And that's it for chapter 3. Join us in chapter 4 when we use other customer and service types on this case study to explore game theory as related to pricing models and revenue assurance. Thanks for watching.